Today, we've got some shocking news from the UFC world. It's official, UFC 317 just lost a major fight from the main card. Yeah, that's right. A key matchup has been scrapped, and fans are buzzing. It all started when Burt MMA posted on X, formerly Twitter, that the fight between Paulo Costa and Roman Dolidze is no longer happening at UFC 317. At first, people didn't know whether to believe it or not. After all, nobody's really sure about Burt MMA's credibility, but soon other sources started confirming it, and it became clear the report was legit. MMA Fighting's Damon Martin jumped in and tweeted that Costa vs Dolidze is actually being moved to UFC 318. It's not cancelled entirely, just rescheduled. Damon said he was told the fight would now happen at a later date. Then, about an hour later, we got confirmation from another insider, La Vieira, also on X. He explained that Paulo Costa caught a virus and won't be able to fight on June 28th as originally planned. He's currently recovering, so the only option was to push the bout to the next event, UFC 318. So there it is, Costa versus Dolidze is off UFC 317, but not gone for good. It's just been pushed forward. How do you feel about it? Let us know in the comments. Meanwhile, Dana White made an appearance on the Jim Rome Show and gave a fresh update on the John Jones versus Stipe Miocic situation. This is what Dana had to say.
Listen, John Jones has been an interesting human being to deal with since the day he got here. But I will say this about him. John Jones has never turned down an opponent here or been afraid to fight anybody.
Who would you like to see him fight?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly. Yeah, we'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
Elsewhere, Joe Rogan had high praise for Morab Dvalishvili. He couldn't stop talking about Morab's crazy cardio and non-stop pace, saying the guy just wears down even the greatest fighters. Check out what Joe said in a...
Morab's last fight last weekend, Morab, Dvalishvili, and Sean O'Malley, that guy is insane. He's insane. His cardio is like something that everyone who has been involved in the sport for as long as I have is blown away by it. The guy's a freak. Just this guy from Georgia, from this, war-torn country, who is just embraces that grind at a level that nobody else can compete with. And when he gets in the ring, like, no one can match his cardio. No one can match his pace. He melts the greatest of the greats. You see guys like Umar Nurmagomedov, who's elite. He's world class. Like, at any other time, he would be a world champion. And Morab's just overwhelming him. You see him just getting overwhelmed by the pace. And Morab doesn't even get tired.
Other interesting news, Khalil Roundtree talked about his unique UFC shorts designed specifically for his fight against Jamahal Hill at UFC Baku. They feature his tattoos and are completely customized. Here's the clip.
So it's got my tattoos, the tattoos that I received in Thailand, my sakyans. They're very meaningful to me and just like my martial arts experience and the time that I spent in Thailand and the impact that it had on me as a person. And then the bottom half, there's some mountains in there, and that's my representation of Las Vegas, the city that I'm from. I wanted to find some type of way to represent my home, and that's what I chose. So instead of having like slot machines and poker chips to represent Vegas, I think one of my favorite things about Vegas is just like the mountains and how they surround the city, and the sunrise and the sunset over the mountains. I think it has some of the most beautiful sights in the morning and night. And then I wanted something to also represent just my duality and contrast in personalities. It's known that when I fight, I can come out as pretty aggressive, or like fans like to call it violent. But outside of the cage, I do my best to be as like just respectful and kind as I can. So there's really a big like duality there. So I chose to represent that part of myself, and just the overall like striving for balance in life. So I wanted it to resemble a yin yang. So that's kind of like why it's split into two colors.
Now, let's talk about Alex Pereira. He just weighed himself and showed off a huge 243 pounds. That's a big jump. Way above the light heavyweight limit. At that size, Alex could easily move up to the heavyweight division. What's more impressive, he still looks lean even after the weight gain. He's 6'4", so maybe this is his way of preparing for a new challenge. But of course, some fans are wondering, is he bulking up on purpose, or is he just slacking off after his loss to Magomed Ankalaev? Is he missing training, or simply taking a break? Watch the clip and decide for yourself. So what do you think? Is Alex making a move to heavyweight or just chilling for now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now we move to some serious breaking news involving Conor McGregor. Yes, again, Conor just got into another altercation, and this time he scored what people are calling his first knockout in over 5 years. Let's break it down. Recently, Conor has been out in Ibiza, partying it up like usual. He was spotted with TV star Katie Price and club owner Wayne Lineker. But just this morning, things got out of hand. According to The Sun, Conor was at a club and had a drink in his hand, standing on a platform while talking to a guy in the crowd. Now, here's where it gets wild. From the footage, it doesn't look like the guy was being aggressive, but we can't say for sure what was said. Suddenly, Conor throws his legendary left hand, follows it up with another punch, and knocks the guy out cold. Just like that. What's even crazier, he did it all while still holding his drink in his right hand. A group of people jumped in between them quickly, but the damage was done. It was a typical McGregor moment, explosive, unpredictable, and honestly, a bit reckless. Now, here's where things might get serious. In Spain, just like the rest of the EU, battery is a criminal offense, and under the Spanish Penal Code, this could lead to legal trouble for Conor. If he's deemed the aggressor, a lawsuit is almost certain. It's worth remembering, this isn't the first time McGregor's had issues in Ibiza. Long ago, a woman claimed he attacked her on his yacht during a birthday party. She even said he looked possessed. So now the big question, what does the MMA world think about Conor's latest actions? Let's hear it. Some fans had harsh words. One said, "That's my president," clearly sarcastic. Another wrote, "This rat can only KO old men, untrained strangers, or drunk women, since Khabib and Dustin took his soul." Ouch. Someone else joked he must have thought that was Ilia Topuria, said he wanted to grab Topuria by the scruff and slap the nose off him. Others were less amused. One fan said, "Just throw him in jail already. The guy didn't even do anything. Even if he said something, that's no reason to punch someone." Another added, "Well, it might cost him a bit, but Conor's back in the win column, guys." And one person summed it up with, "In the past 6 years, Conor's punched more people outside the cage than inside it." It's wild how many people have given up hope for Conor ever returning to the octagon. Some even said all he has to do is hire bodyguards to do this for him. But of course, there were also sarcastic fans celebrating, "We did it, boys. Conor McGregor is now 1-0 in 2025, one person wrote. Even if it was in a nightclub and not the UFC against a real fighter. Another fan added, "Those were 2 quick shots. The champ is back." Yeah, it's funny until it's not. When your only win in years comes from knocking out a guy in a club, it might be time to reevaluate. To close things off, here are some top comments from the last video. Armon as a backup is going to need a backup. Umar hadn't really earned his title shot the first time and now he wants another one for free? At least fight 1 or 2 contenders before asking for it again. Man, I want to see Umar vs Sean O'Malley. At the end of the day, it's clear that the fight world never sleeps, whether it's cancelled bouts, wild knockouts, or personal controversies. UFC 317 may have lost a key matchup, but the drama outside the cage is keeping fans just as hooked. Conor McGregor's latest actions have once again stirred the pot, and while some cheer him on, others are left shaking their heads. One thing's for sure, the chaos isn't stopping anytime soon, so buckle up, stay tuned, and let us know in the comments what you think about everything going down in the fight world right now. So there you have it, a cancelled UFC fight, a heavyweight tease from Alex Pereira and Conor McGregor. Back in the headlines, fists first. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to stay updated with all the madness going on in the MMA world.